Hey YouTube. Well, I've had the Buick for just over a year now, and in celebration of that, I figured I would make sort of a review of this car, a 1-year review, and what a year it has been. This car, the 3800s definitely live up to their hype of being great engines. I don't think I have had a single problem with the engine or transmission so far. Hoping nothing happens. But they've been working good. The engine's nice and strong. I've had a couple issues with it starting, just like twice, but I think that's because I flooded the engine unintentionally. And the battery died once in the cold weather, but those are the only issues of any sort I've had with the drivetrain. So yeah, granted it's got low miles, but I have no complaints as far as the drivability. The ride in this car, this is the smoothest riding car you'll ever see. Maybe not the smoothest, but pretty damn smooth. Let's see if I can remember all this happened this past year before I get to the issue that I want to talk about with this car. I guess the big one is, besides the battery dying that one time, big one is this tire right here. I blew it on, obviously not this tire, but I blew a tire which was in this position on I-90 doing about 70 miles an hour. So that scared me a little bit. Blew it and had to pull off and put the spare on the side of 90. Limped it home and got 2 new tires on the back. The fronts will be getting changed shortly because I want to get that done before winter. And the center cap, this part right here, actually flew off when I blew the tire. So I just recently bought another one to replace it because that was kind of an eyesore having one wheel without the center cap. But yeah, got some, when it blew, got some rubber on the quarter here and cut off a chunk of the plastic, and I just haven't had time to clean that rubber off. This happened in like June, I want to say. But apart from the scratches and dings that were already there, no paint flaws, no real rust happening anywhere. I did have, let me unlock it. At one point, there was a small interior leak. Water would come in right here, but that has not happened in a while. Hopefully that's done. And I think it's because I didn't put the door panel back together properly, the inner lining of the door panel. Because ever since I redid that, it hasn't been doing it. So yeah, the pros of this car, reliable, strong motor, very smooth ride, very comfortable. I guess now we'll get to the downsides of the car. One that comes to mind immediately is the windows. If you go onto any sort of review site, you will see that the windows are the biggest complaint about this car. This window right here has never worked since I got it. I think the motor's shot. This window came off of the track one day, like, no idea how. The regulator didn't break, nothing. It just came off the track. Put it back on the track, and so far, it's been fine. This window, the regulator broke about 2 months after I got the car. So I held it up. That was winter time, so I didn't put a new one in right away. Jammed a screw up in there and changed it in February, I think. And it didn't work quite right. I don't know if the regulator was just a cheap part or something failed on it. But I thought it was the motor because the motor I got with the replacement regulator was wired backwards. So you would push up, it would go down, you'd push down, it would go up. So I just threw the old motor back on there. So I thought the motor was going out, and the motor that I got with the regulator was all screwed up, besides the fact that it didn't go up or down properly. I wish I remembered the name of the company it came from so I could tell you guys not to buy from there, because their regulator failed within 6 months, and the motor never worked right. So I'll have to see if I can figure out the name of that company, and don't buy from them. Anyway, so I thought it was the motor that was going bad. So I put a brand new motor in there. Sure enough, it was still the regulator. It made this awful crunching sound. Just, it made me cringe. So I got a new regulator, put it in there, and it's been working all right ever since, but I'm real weary to use this window especially. I really try to put the windows down in this car as little as possible, which sucks because I like driving with the windows down. But I don't know if it's just the way the regulators are made or the designs. I think the windows are a little too heavy for the cable type of regulator they use, and I think the regulators just break because the windows are so heavy. But in either case, the windows are definitely the worst part of this car. These cars are, along with, I think, at least the Regals and probably the Park Avenues of this era, are known for their window failure. Other than that, I guess my other biggest complaint about this car is the gas mileage. But it's almost to be expected because, you know, it's a big car, it's heavy, it's like 3,600 pounds. It's got, you know, a 3.8 liter V6. It's not going to be a vastly gas efficient car. You're not going to get upper 20s with this. I think the best I've gotten with this car is 24, and that was with mostly highway driving. Which I guess 24 for this car is not too bad. You just can't really expect this to be an economy car, because it's definitely not. That's one of the things I miss about the Saturn, is the gas economy. But apart from the windows and the gas mileage, it's got a few other things. Not too crazy about the Twilight Sentinel. I like having the automatic lights, but I wish you could shut them off. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints with this. It's peppy, you know, it's not fast, but it ain't a dog either. So, would I recommend this car? Yes, I would. But I would not recommend it if you're looking for a gas saver. It's not atrocious on gas mileage, but you can do a lot better with a 4-cylinder car. But as a family car, or, you know, a nice little comfortable cruiser, I would definitely recommend it. And I hope it stays a good car for the rest of the time I have it. So we will talk to you later, and I hope you enjoyed this video.